Tonight on America Decides, the Friday Roundup. President Trump gathers reporters in the Oval Office and gives wide-ranging remarks on DOJ's efforts to cut federal workers, on eliminating the Department of Education, and on working with Ukraine as the two countries give diplomacy another try.
We had too many people in government. You can't just do that. We had too many. We want the education to be given by the states. It'll be much better. It'll move us to the top of the list from the bottom of the list. We're doing very well with Russia, but right now they're bombing the hell out of Ukraine. I'm finding it more difficult, frankly, to deal with Ukraine, and they don't have the cards.
Tariff turmoil just a day after the president pulled back tariffs on Canada and Mexico. A new trade tax warning. How he could soon roll out a tax on dairy and lumber that's coming over the northern border. All that plus a new consideration to hit Russia with large-scale sanctions over its war on Ukraine. But let's start tonight with our political director, Gómez, and congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns to talk about all of that. Happy Friday. Good to see you guys in person.
We made it.
So yeah, it's been a busy week. Lots of twists and turns, particularly when it comes to tariffs, where the president's policies seem to change by the day. Today was no exception. Take a look at what he said about tariffs on Canada.
Canada has been ripping us off for years on tariffs for lumber and for dairy products. 250%. Nobody ever talks about that. 250% tariff, which is taking advantage of our farmers. So that's not going to happen anymore.
He went on to say that he's going to impose a 250% dairy tariff on Canada in the coming days. Who knows if that is actually going to come to pass. What's the strategy here, Finn? Is there a strategy?
You know, Nancy, I think whipsaw is my new favorite word of the week, because that's exactly how it feels like. This week has been that.
Last week was chainsaw. This week is whipsaw.
Exactly. Yes, Nancy. But I asked the White House about this earlier today, and essentially, they believe that this is the best efforts for him to really get what he thinks is best for the U.S. economy. He thinks ultimately that he believes in this, and it's ultimately what a strategy that he thinks will be best for the American economy. I did also speak to a former senior administration official about this specifically, someone who's been in the room with him, and he told me specifically that he truly believes in this. There's no ulterior strategy here.
So then why does he keep rolling it back as soon as he does it?
It's in part because he says that it's something that he said, and I quote, he said often that he believes that everybody wants to be everybody wants our markets. Everybody wants to be and have access to our markets. Mm-hmm. And before, in Trump 1.0, he had people who stood up and had different opinions on trade policy. And here, this time around, you really have people who believe in this protectionist perspective. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, they do believe that he thinks there's a method to this madness. There is a strategy behind here that would ultimately benefit the United States. But right now, this whipsaw is really the key word of what we've been seeing all week.
He thinks it's leverage to help him extract things from other countries. But Republicans, not so sure. I mean, they toe the party line on a lot of issues, but on this issue, they have been pretty vocal, some of them, about the fact that they don't think that this is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, the president likes to say that tariff is his favorite word in the dictionary. Republicans on Capitol Hill do not share that sentiment. And they have been, you're right, Nancy, very vocal about this, because a lot of them come from big agriculture states, big manufacturing states, even in North Carolina, lumber, furniture, that kind of thing. So they have been more vocal here. Rand Paul gave an interesting quote this week saying, everybody in my state is coming up to me and saying, we don't like tariffs, we don't want them. But what's interesting here, and even John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, says, look, I don't share these views, we'll see. But what's interesting is that they are willing to give him kind of latitude here because he keeps changing his mind. And when you talk to Republicans about it, they say, look, this is what I think. I'm trying to tell the president this or hint to him, but we also know that he can pull them back when he wants to. So they're giving him a lot of latitude here, even as they're raising their hands about it.
We'll see how long the patience lasts.
Yeah. And they have been hearing an earful, the White House has, from constituents from from Trump supporters, not just those lawmakers who are skittish and nervous about the impact that this tariff talks are happening. And remember, this was a party that just I'm old enough to remember a few years ago. This was a party was free trade was a major component of the Republican Party. Now it's something completely different.
Finn, you've got some new reporting on the last administration,
Sure.
and specifically Vice President Kamala Harris, who we've known for a while she was mulling a bid for California governor, but it's seemed to bubble back up into the news today. What's going on?
That's right, Nancy. And our colleague, Weijia Jiang, and I have been reporting on this today, that people close to former Vice President Harris tell us that she is strongly considering a run to be for governor of California. We do know that Governor Newsom is now the current governor, but he's term limited out. She is considering this decision and will make her decision by the summertime. Of course, all eyes are on her if she does do this. There has been some recent polling that shows she is the front runner there. And of course, though, however, politically, logistically, if you will, if she does run for governor, it does make a 2028 run really unlikely, I would say.
That is fascinating and interesting that she is now very seriously considering this. Finn Gómez, Caitlin Huey-Burns, thanks so much. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Thanks, Nancy.